Good day, students. My name is Mr. Adewale Kayode, your mathematics teacher. You are welcome on our online mathematics class. And today, we are going to continue on logarithm. In our previous class, we have started roots. But remember, we only work on the roots of numbers that are greater than 1. But today, we are going to work on the roots of numbers that are lesser than 1. By the end of this class, the viewers at home should be able to use logarithm table to perform calculation involving numbers less than 1 and greater than 1. 2. Use logarithm table to perform calculation involving numbers that are lesser than 1 and as well as those numbers that are greater than 1 for roots. Let's see, like we do under our logarithm class, we always share logarithm table for the use of students. So I'm using this to tell you that you don't need to bother yourself if you don't have 4-figure table. 4-figure table is available on this video. This is the first page. It's talking about logarithm. That's logarithm table. The second page is also talking about logarithm table. We started from 0 and it ended on 99. The third page is talking about anti-logarithm table. We started from 0.0 and it ended at 0.49. And the fourth page is talking about anti-logarithm table, which is from 0.50 and it ended at 0.99. Roots of a number that is lesser than 1. Like I said in our previous class, we said the root of a number can be greater than 1. It can as well be lesser than 1. We have dealt with those roots that are greater than 1. But today is going to be for numbers that are what? That are lesser than 1. Let's check all these points. Unlike the powers of a number which is done the same way as if it were either equal to or greater than, the case of a root of a number lesser than 1 is a bit complex. We just have to tell ourselves the truth. When you are performing calculations of a root of a number that are lesser than 1, it's what? We said it's a bit complex. And we need to be very careful when calculating root of a number that are lesser than 1. 2. We can find the root of a number that is lesser than 1, which is automatically has a negative characteristic. From our characteristics and matrices class, we said when you are dealing with what? With numbers that are what? That are lesser than 1. The characteristics always give you negative. And that negative under logarithm class, we always call them bars. Like bar 1, bar 2, bar 3. You still remember when we are talking about bar 1, this is bar 1. When we're talking about bar 2, this is bar 2. When we are talking about bar 3, this is what? Bar 3. That's what numbers that are lesser than 1 is all about. Point number 3, we said if the characteristic is not divisible exactly by the divisor, that is, sometimes when you want to divide, if you remember under a number that are greater than 1, almost all the numbers of the dividing are always greater than that numbers of divisor. But under numbers that are lesser than 1, sometimes the divisor always greater than the dividing. You remember the two terms, dividing and divisor. And you could remember from your fraction class that a fraction could be expressed as numerator over what? Over denominator. Isn't it? So the number down is what we call divisor, while the number up is what we call dividing. So point number 4, thereafter, a positive balance to make it equal to the original value is added to the decimal part and thereafter find the antilogarithm of the result. So at this juncture, the division is performed after you follow those rules one by one. Remember, if the characteristic is not divisible exactly by the divisor, that is the nth root, the negative characteristic is increased to the number which is an exact dividing of the divisor. That means when you want to divide under this, you must make sure that what the divisor and that of the dividing are the same. Let me quickly run you through a mental sum class, and that is why I call this examples of division of logarithm with bar notation. Remember, when a characteristic has negative, we put them in what? In bar under logarithm. That is, when you express a number in standard form and it's giving you negative, that negative which we normally call the characteristic, always pronounced as what? As bar, not negative this time around. Let me run you through this mental sum. Example 1. Bar 3.6, we are asked to divide it by what? By 3. Bar 3.6 is the dividing, 3 is the divisor. 3 can still divide 3, isn't it? Okay, when you use 3 to divide bar 3, it will give you what? Bar 1. 3 divided by 6, that will give us 2. Very easy. That means bar 3.6 divided by 3 will give us what? Bar 1.2. But let's see the second example. The second example, bar 5.8 divided by 3. How do we do that? Oh, you want to use 3 divided by 5? No, because 5 is not what? It's not multiples of 3. You need to go and look for multiples of 3 that are equal to this. And that is how I call it mental sum. Let's just do the mental sum. This is the game. You will need to look for multiples of 3 that when you convert it, it will give you bar 5. Remember, we are coming from negative and we take it to what? To bar. So for you to get this now, you have to look for what? For numbers that are what? That are multiples of 3. What are the multiples of 3? 3 still lesser than 5. Okay, 6 is greater than 5. So that shows we can pick what? Minus 6. What other number can we add to minus 6 that will give us minus 5? Good. Plus 1. Minus 6 plus 1. That will give us what? Minus 5. Which is the same thing as what? As bar 5. Good. So that means from here now, we can now do what? We can now call it bar 6 plus 1. Remember, bar 6 is the same thing as minus 6. So minus 6 plus 1, that is what? Minus 5. Still satisfy that bar 5. So by what? That's what? That's bar 6 plus 1.8. Now from here now, we can now divide. 3 to divided by bar 6, that will give us bar 2 plus 1 in 3. That will give us 0. Take that one, join with what? 8. It will give us 18. 3 divided by 18, that will give us 6. Good. Let's add the two together now. When you want, well, let's add the two together. That is 2.0 plus 0.6. What is that going to give us? Good. That will give us 2.6. Remember, that 2 is carrying bar. So the answer will be what? Bar 2.6. Then therefore, bar 5.8 divided by 3 will give us what? Bar 2.6. Let's see other example. Examples on division of logarithm with bar notation. Let's see example 3. Bar 3.2 to be divided by 4. We cannot use 4 to divide 3 because 3 is not multiples of 4. So what are the multiples of 4? Good, 4. And 4 is greater than 3. How do we now convert that 4 back to minus 3, which is bar 3? Okay, let's go back to that class, mental sum class now. That is what? You always pick what? Minus 4, which is bar 4, plus 1. Good. Minus 4 plus 1. That will give us minus 3. You remember? Good. So that means from there now we can now have what? Bar 4 plus 1.2. 4 divided by 4. That will give us 4 divided by bar 4. Bar 1 plus 4 divided by 1. That is 0. Take that 1 to 2. That will give us 12. 4 divided by 12. That is 3. Then we have what? Bar 1 plus 0.3. And that will give us bar 1.3. Good. Let's see example 4. Example 4. Bar 2.5 divided by 5. You cannot use 5 to divide bar 2 because they are not the same. What are the multiples of 5? Good. 5. 5 is greater than 2. We can use 5. Okay? If you are using 5 as a negative value, what other value can you use to convert minus 5 back to minus 2? Good. Plus 3. That shows minus 5 plus 3 will give us what? Will give us minus 2, which is the same thing as what? As bar 2. Let's take that to calculation now. Bar 5 plus 3.5. We now have bar 5. 5 divided by bar 5. That will give us bar 1 plus 5 divided by 3, 0. When you take that 3 to 5, that will give us 35. 5 divided by 35, 7. There we have point what? 0.7. And the other one is bar 1. So bar 1 plus 0.7, that will give us what? Bar 1.7. Good. That is bar 2.5 divided by 5 will give us bar 1.7. Let's see the example 5. Bar 4.7 divided by 3. Yes, 3 can divide 4. But you cannot try that with bar notation. You must divide it with numbers that are what? That are multiple of that divisor. And the divisor we have there is what? Is 3. What are the multiples of 3? 3. But you cannot use 3 because 4 is greater than 3. Next multiple. Good. 6. Minus 6. What can we add to minus 6 that will give us minus 4? Good. Plus 2. Minus 6 plus 2. Good. That will give us what? Minus 4. Which is still the same thing as what? As bar 4. That means we can use minus 6 plus 2. We can use bar 6 plus 2. That means we can use what? We can use bar 6 plus 2. And the number at the back is what? That's 0.7. So we now have bar 6 plus 2.7. 3 to be divided by bar 6. That will give us bar 2. Plus 3 divided by 2. That is 0. Take that 0 to 7. That will give us 27. 3 divided by 27. That will give us 9. We have bar 2 plus 0.9. Add the 2 together. That will give us bar 2.9. Then therefore, bar 4.7 divided by 3 will give us bar 2.9. Viewers at home, with this mental sum, we were good to go with the logarithms of numbers that are lesser than 1 under roots. Let's try this. Let's try this to see if you have got something under that little mental sum we have just done now. simplify the following, expressing the answer in bar notation. Remember, bar notation. Number 1, bar 3.8 divided by 4. Number 2, bar 6.8 divided by 2. Number 3, bar 7.2 divided by 4. You are going to try this for me, and you will send your answer to my email address, Adewale Kayode onlineclass@gmail.com, or you send it to my WhatsApp contact on 08050443437. Let us go on break now, and I'm very sure by the time we come back, your answer might have got to my mail. Let us go on break. You are welcome back. Okay, good. How many of you have sent the answer to my mail? Good. God bless all of you. Can we try the first one together on mental zone? Okay, let us try it together. The first one is what? Bar 3.8 divided by 4. How do we go about that? The divisor is 4, and the dividing is what? Bar 3.8. Bar 3 is not multiples of 4. So what are multiples of 4? Good. 4. We can pick 4 because 4 is greater than 3. Let's see. How can we do that? That will be what? Bar 4 plus 1. Bar 4 plus 1. Good. Bar 3. Okay. That's point what? 0.8 to be divided by what? By 4. Let's divide that now. 4 divided by bar 4. Good. Bar 1 plus 4 divided by 1. That is 0. When you take that 1 to that side, that will give us what? 18. How many 4 can we see in that? Good. That is what? 4. 4 multiplied by 4. That is what? That is 6. It remains what? 2. Add 0 to that. That is 20. 4 in 20. That is 5. Good. So we now have what? What do you have for that place now? What do we have there? We have by 1 point. We have what? By 1 plus 0 point. What do you get from that one the other time? By 1 point. Okay. Good. Good. That's what? That is 4. And what? 5. Let's add the two together. We have by 1.45. Good. So that means by 3.8 divided by 4 will give us by 1.45. Is that what you get? Good. So you are going to send it, okay, as you have started sending those answers to my mail. I will check them one by one, and I will make sure I reply all mail back to you to see your strength under logarithm. So till we meet again, I am still your mathematics teacher, Mr. Adewale Kayode. Thank you and God bless.